Good morning, Facebook. It is nearly 2:30 in the morning, and I'm awakening to yet again some pain around the stoma, which is always an indicator to me that it's time to change it. When I actually do get the stinging, which most of you will, that pretty much is an indication of peristalsis, and it's basically your barrier ring has expanded the moisture that much that it's time to have a change. So I read a lot of people's posts on Facebook, and I hear all the complaints, and a lot of people aren't educated on what happens, and all these little things that you get around the stoma and what are they. And so I thought I would pretty much put together a compilation this morning at 2:30 in the morning on what best products to use and how to change it, because I'm in a little bit of pain here myself, and I thought, well, there's no time like the present but to show you. So first of all, I wear a pair of gloves at all times. I'm pretty fanatical about hygiene. I will go over the products as I'm using them and why I recommend them, and products that I don't really recommend. But again, that's personal choice, and it's basically up to you and what suits your body, as there is a thing called convex, and it's basically the ring around the actual bag and how that is mobilized and the flex. So there are a lot of bags out there. I pretty much prefer to use Hollister. I have used Coloplast in the past, and I found them to be awful. They just continually leak all the time. They're not that good. So this is a Hollister bag. The number is, well, the product code, if I can read it, is 54030. This is the smaller version. 31 is the kind of longer version if you have a lot of output. So basically, I perform this always lying down. I don't like to sit up. A lot of the reasons that I find lying down actually helps it go to bed. You don't get a lot of output where you're performing your change. A lot of the times I've sat up and there's been output, and I'm trying to change a bag and it's just constantly getting yucky. So hopefully, my stoma's name is Mr. Louis Vuitton, my ship bag. Hopefully Louis is going to participate and you're not going to see any nasties during this demonstration. So first of all, I grab a little bag as a dispenser. As I did mention, I've got the Hollister. This is a really good convex bag. It's a one piece. I don't use two pieces. I don't believe in them. They leak a lot. The one piece is good. My stoma size is a 20, so this is a perfect size for me. Always measure your stoma size. If need be, you can cut it with some scissors. So basically how I start is I just basically take the cap off and then grab my little rubbish bag, put that in there. And then next is, this is the best thing I recommend highly. It is by Convatec. It's called Stoma Adhesive Paste. It is amazing. It's barrier protected, and the best thing about it is it's non-alcoholic. So if you've got any stinging that happens around the edges of your stoma, you don't get that burning pain when you're putting it on. So these things get hard to use, but by the end of this, you'll be piking cakes magically. So basically, I just pike it to the rim and form a circle. And if you miss some spots, you can always go back over them. So anyway, make sure you put the cap on straight away because they tend to dry up pretty quickly. So that's what I've done. I've prepared my little bag with the paste around the edge. Secondly to this, I use a barrier ring. They're very important. They basically, what they do is they sit around the stoma edge, and when there's a lot of liquid output, it expands the liquid so it lasts a lot longer and you don't get hypergranulation, which is what I've got. And hence why I know when I've got a bag change is because it stings. And so going back to these barrier rings, there are several types on the market that you can get. I personally have tried them all and I recommend this for a particular reason. I recommend you get the Iieon Slim rings. Iieon Slim, which is reference number 8390505. This is the perfect size. It sits around your stoma quite well. It's the right distance between the skin and the bag. You don't want anything thicker or you don't want anything thinner. Reason I say that is your stoma forms what's called peristalsis, and every time it goes out and then it goes back in, if you've got a slim, or if you've got a barrier ring that's a lot thicker, like something like this, which is a Hollister, it's a 20mm, but the level is probably double the size of an Iieon. What happens is your stoma, when it peristalses down, it goes underneath and it leaks underneath the barrier ring. So that's why I don't really recommend anything thick. I recommend to go with the slims. And also I have tried some others. This one here is a Welland. It's Welland does a lot of Manuka honey type of products. I don't really recommend them because they do leak a lot. So again, just from experience, I like the slim rings by Iieon. Basically what I do is I take it out, and these are based on heat. So with this, to warm it up, I just put it in between my legs, and the warmth of my legs warms it up and it makes it really, really sticky. So while that's heating up and I've prepared my bag, hopefully Mr. Louis here is going to behave and you're not going to see some nasties. But also with Hollister, get a belt. The best thing under the sun. You will not go wrong without it. It keeps it attached to the stomach. I do a lot of movement and I find if I don't wear the belt, it just pops off. So you can check to see if your stoma is being active. Mine's been a little bit active, but it looks like it's gone to bed. Again, laying down makes it stop forming as much. So I'll get on to the next product while we are waiting here. I use a stoma powder. Again, you need to make sure that once you have taken off the bag and you've cleaned it up, that it is very dry before you put the ring on, because it won't stick. The bag won't stay on, you'll have leeches and all of the above. So that is highly recommended. Next product, I use the Welland medical adhesive removers. These are absolutely fantastic. Once you are finished with these and your stoma, I recommend you keep them, because these are great for getting rid of, like, I found the other day I put chewing gum on something and I used one of these, it came off. It was awesome. So I have one of those, and another thing, which is a trick, and a lot of people don't know, go to the chemist and get yourself what's called lignocaine gel. It's also known as Emla cream. This is it's a anesthetic. It's a numbing gel. It is freaking believable when you are in so much pain, stinging pain, whatever. Use this. This is fantastic. I use it all the time. I cannot live without it. So I pretty much put that on just around the edges just before. Then I put a little bit of powder, make sure it's really dry, then put the sling ring on. So that's that also. And another thing I do get is these things here, which are from Colourplus. They're called Brava Soother Irritated Skin Barrier Wipes. They're cleansers. This is good to use when you are cleaning the area. What this does is it leaves a film on the skin, and it's a protective film that it leaves. And also what does that is this product here, if I can find it. Oh, there's all this crap that you have to keep next to you at all times, or else you're in trouble. I cannot find it. Oh well, it is a spray. When I get to it next time, we'll talk about it. Okay, I will check Mr. Louis. It looks like Louis's gone to bed, hopefully. And I just make sure that I've got some tissue paper ready just in case of big movement. Get that barrier wipe. Barrier wipe's ready. Okay, so step 1. Make sure you're in a very comfortable position. I usually like to stay on my side. As I said, he's pretty much looks like he's gone to sleep, as you can look through the hole. So we start off with your sure everything's ready. Okay, so first things first, barrier wipe. We take this little sucker out. How are we going in here? You might see a little bit, so please, if you got a bit of a squeamish stomach, don't look at this. Right, you can't see it, so anyway, pretty much just go around the sides with your barrier wipe, and it just uplifts your sticky part. I'm not good doing this at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I do recommend that if you do feel a sting, straight away change it, or you're going to get some pretty nasty redness happening around the site and some hypergranulation happening as well. And I've got some pretty bad hypergranulation happening on mine. You can't see it from there, but it just looks like bubbles on the side of it. Oh, it's being active. Why do you want to be active right now, Mr. Louis? I like to keep it half open just in case you do get a bit of output coming out, and that way you can start to get half of the area clean, because I do have output happening. So this is good because it still gets into the bag. And this way we can start to clean it up. Just cleaning off any of the excess paste from last time, which does stick to the skin. And still a little bit of output coming out. Okay, so just preparing the area. I'll grab some of the leek McCain gel. Don't forget that. Oh, it's being a little bit active, but will prevent any misses. Keeping the bag on halfway. Just holding. When it does hurt, it also means that peristalsis is happening, so it means you are outputting. And just get all that into the bag. Okay. Another thing during this time, you have to be multi-patient. Like, you have to be patient. Patience is a virtue with this. Don't ever rush it, because you'll be forever changing bags, so you're better off just letting it do its business and then changing it. Once it's stopped, it stops. Okay, so I think near there. Okay, so if this is together. you're going to find that some of the paste from last time is still stuck to the skin or the barriering, so gotta kind of make sure that you get all of it off. And it's such a pain in the ass because it sticks to the skin. So that has come off. And the tissues. Just in case. And then we'll give it a big clean. Again, this step is the most important, making sure that it is completely dry and that you do not have any nasty you have to make sure that you do not put any creams around the area because the bag just won't stick otherwise. So clean him up. Looks pretty clean to me. Maybe tissue paper, rough around the edges. This is where you can go one step further if you wish. Again, things just go AWOL here. Can't find it. Just get a little bit of powder. I put it pretty much around where the hypergranulation is. And just make sure that it kind of dries the area up a bit. Just want it as dry as possible. Get your tissue paper and just get any excess off. So it's all nicely dry. Then I quickly grab a slim ring, which is nicely sticky now. Okay, and this is where you have to move very quickly. Okay. You place the slim ring as close as the brim as possible and make sure it sticks down. So Mr. Louis is nicely tucked in there. Good boy. And then next is lining the bag up and then going voila. So once that's on, you can press your hands down just to give it some warmth. That way it sticks a little bit nicer to the skin. Then you want to grab your sides. Once the side is down and nicely tucked to the skin, grab your butt plug, connect it up. Again, I highly recommend if you're during the night you feel a sting, just whatever you do, change it. Even though it might not blow out, you may be lucky, but you're going to find that you'll prevent a lot of redness around the stoma area and the site. You'll keep it a lot more happier. Okay, and let's put that there. And then with your trash bag, you just put whatever you haven't used in your trash bag. And make sure you dispose of that nicely. And that feels way better already. normal spinning. Again, I highly recommend try a Hollister bag. They are fantastic, the Hollister, especially the one piece. Don't get the two piece. I highly recommend do not use Coloplast. They leak, especially their two pieces. I've pretty much tried every bag under the sun. I know, again, it suits every individual's body and your stoma and the size and all of that. I recommend getting samples from companies. If you've got to wear this bag for a long time, get samples, try them, ask your stoma nurse for samples. I highly recommend that. It's lignocaine gel, otherwise known as Amla cream. Ask your pharmacist or just go to your doctor and ask for a prescription. You don't need one, but under prescription I think you can get it way cheaper. These are very expensive. Okay, and yeah, my name's Jeanette Klobasi. I'm the owner founder of One Pure. I am a doctor and also a nutritionist. I specialize in alternative medicine and natural medicine and therapies. So if you need any other assistance at all, I do specialize in weight loss and other modalities. You can check me out on Facebook as well. You can go to Jeanette Klobasi, or I do have another website called jeanette.net.au. So hopefully I've helped a lot of people out today. And yeah, it's now nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. I hope you're all asleep and having a nice night with no discomfort. Okay.